As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
I thought about going with the University of South Florida. Gary Bohannon has committed to play there. Excellent quarterback, did some really good things with Baylor last year. Kind of shocked me how that all went down with Aranda telling him he was not going to be the starter and giving him the opportunity to enter in the portal. I think that says a lot about Dave Aranda as a coach, but I think South Florida got them a really, really good player. But I ended up going with Zay Flowers, Boston College wide receiver. Now, he was a all conference last year in the ACC. Really, really good. One of the top prospects coming for the NFL at wide receivers next year at Boston College. Whenever the deadline to enter the transfer portal started to get close, he had, I believe, 6 or so different schools, or I guess
collectives
or people by back channels get in touch, not directly with him, but people close to him, and offer him 6-figure NIL deals. A bunch of schools were doing it, and he was all excited about it. Went and talked to his dad. His dad said to give it a minute, go talk to your coach. He went to talk to Jeff Hafley, the coach there at Boston College, and after thinking about it for a while and talking about it with his dad, who single dad, he's the 11th out of 14 kids, and a lot of money like that would have really helped his family out. His dad told him, no, stay at Boston College, get your degree from Boston College. That will be bigger for you in the long run. And he decided to stay at Boston College, to be with his coaches who built a relationship with him in recruiting way before he ever turned into the player he is now. He wants to play with the guys that he came up with in school. I thought this is the exact story we want to hear, right? Guys that are, and listen, I don't want him to have to turn down a bunch of money, right? He's got some NIL stuff there at Boston College. I want him to be able to make good money and still have a successful college career. But, not just taking the first thing and the easiest thing offered and going somewhere, staying there and doing it with his teammates and with the coaches that are doing the best they can to help develop him. I thought that was just awesome to hear.
Zay Flowers better get taken care of by the football gods.
Yep.
Because, and I read the article. School offered him $600,000. Or I guess the school didn't. The collective connected to a school, right? And remember, he wasn't in the portal. He hadn't said anything publicly. These are all people that contacted him somehow, right? Said that there was another deal that another collective connected to another school offered him $300,000. And I just hope he stays healthy, and I hope he gets drafted high. I'll tell you this, NFL teams are going to love that.
Yeah.
They're going to absolutely. Now, it comes to producing on the field, right? And the guy can play. There's no doubt about it. But this is the type of story that makes you smile, and it makes you go, good stuff better happen to that kid.
Yep.
And if bad things happen to him, I'm gonna be sad, because $600,000 is a lot of money.
I think good things are going to happen to him, and all right, someone's going to pay him some good money just to find out who those schools were. All right, that's what's really interesting. Is I want to know who was reaching out to him and doing it the grimy way. He was not in the transfer portal. That's tampering, and you know that collectives, I wouldn't think collectives are going at it alone to start barking up trees like Zay Flowers at Boston College, right? Before there's any conversation with the coaching staff.
I'll tell you this, like Zay Flowers, because I remember reading it. He's one of 14 kids, and I believe he's also got like 20 nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
So that money would have made a real difference for his family. So please, football gods, watch over this young man. Bring him all the receptions, all the touchdowns. I just hope that he gets rewarded for his loyalty, because that's the way it's supposed to be, right?
Yep.
Right. When you show this amount of loyalty, you make this type of decision, you're supposed to get rewarded for it at the end of the day. So that's all I'm hoping for, man, is that
I'm sure that, he's got a couple of NIL deals already. He's got one that's got a BMW. I'm sure that somehow Boston College had to be able to sweeten the pot a little bit through whatever NIL connections they have. I don't know, but I hope so.
Also, hey, Phil Dracovic, that QB, when he's healthy, man, he can spin it. So maybe Flowers looked around at these other the collectives that were connected to the schools, and they're like, I don't want to play with that. I don't want to play with that QB. I'll take my guy.
Right. And you go out there and you have a good year, and like it works out well. You can make up more than that $600,000. So I like it.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Come on, football gods, take care of Zay Flowers. Protect that young man. All right, who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
My loser is anyone trying to break into the NBA ranks in coaching. Mike Brown is going to be hired by the Kings, right? It's like it's his fourth or fifth stop as a head coach. Am I the only person that is tired of the musical chairs in professional coaching? It's the same thing in baseball, same thing in football, same thing in basketball. It's just the same exact names recycled over and over and over and over again. It's kind of annoying.
I would assume there are some young coaches out there that are very annoyed, but he's been on Steve Kerr's staff.
Yeah.
Been with the Warriors
good.
organization.
This is nothing against Mike Brown. I think he's really good. I think he's done some really good stuff, obviously. But there's just no creativity there, no thinking outside the box at all for the Kings. And maybe in the NBA, frankly, it doesn't even matter. If you get the right handful of players, you got a shot. If you don't have the right handful of players, you don't have a shot.
That's
like 90% of it.
The Kings playoff drought is still ongoing, right? I mean, they haven't been, I looked it up earlier, 16 years.
Probably since Vlade Divac was there.
It's been, I remember when they were good, they were playing like the Lake. The only problem is they ran up against Shaq and Kobe.
What, Chris Webber and who all was there?
Your Vlade.
Yeah.
Chris Webber was good.
Yep.
I don't know if he was as good as some people think he was, but solid. Had a solid run there. But I'm with you. Now, when it comes to Mike Brown, not only he was a Popovich guy. Remember, he was the Cavs head coach. So he's got probably
been in the league for going on about 25 years.
Yeah. I think he did the Olympic stuff too. So good luck with the Kings, Mike. We'll see. I mean, maybe he's the guy to turn it around in Sacramento. I'm not entirely sold, but we'll see. All right, I'll give you my winner and loser. But first,
First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs, checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all, whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone. Everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. First Fidelity Bank provides free ATMs worldwide, making banking convenient wherever you are. They also give back to the community. FFB donates a total of more than $500,000 to local charities and educational foundations. Make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information.
and if you are a whiskey or bourbon drinker, stop what you're doing, head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was just voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
It's made from blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to buy some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year round. Remember in 2012, Balcones Single Malt won the Best in Glass competition, beating brands like Johnny Walker and Macallan. It became the first American distillery ever to win the competition. This stuff is the real deal, people. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, then Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but the owners, they're from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. All right, for my winner of the weekend, thought about going with Dorian Finney-Smith from the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks beat the Suns 111-101. Dorian Finney-Smith, 8 of 12 from 3.
Woo! That'll get it done.
Everyone, hey, now, and Luka was great. He didn't shoot it particularly well. He shot the 3 horribly. Dorian Finney-Smith is the reason that series is even at 2. That was a massive performance by that
Picked up
dude.
the slack, huh? With Luka not hitting from range. 8 of 12. Wow.
8 of 12. And it was that was the only way he scored. Had 24 points, hit 8 threes. And Luka, 1 of 10 from 3.
Ouch.
So Dorian Finney-Smith put the Mavs on his back. That was massive. But also thought about going with Rich Strike.
Wow.
80-1 odds and wins the Kentucky Derby, rocking Sooner red and white, baby. The owner, Rick Dawson from Edmond, he said they found out about 30 seconds before the deadline on Friday that Rich Strike would be running in the Kentucky Derby. Maybe the best part, dude, that is one of my favorite. What do you call? Is that horse play-by-play? Like, is that the proper?
Yeah.
Is that the proper way to?
I think so.
Stride by stride, horse stride by stride announcing. I don't know what you call it, but the surprise in that guy's voice. He didn't even acknowledge Rich Strike until like he was about to win. It was like
They probably didn't know who the hell it was. He was in like 15th at the final poll at the right before the final straight.
it was. Did you see the video of the overview shot of it?
Yes.
First of all, give me more of that angle.
No doubt.
Racing, please. That was incredible. But that dude, Sonny Leone, the jockey, he was steering that thing like a car, man. That was unbelievable.
That was so cool. That I didn't watch the race, but I saw that someone sent me that overhead shot, and I was just like, that's amazing. And I refuse to believe that those horses don't know what's going on. Right? That sucker knew what was going on, and he was weaving through those. Oh, it was so cool. I loved it.
That was I think that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in horse racing. I'll be the first one to tell you, watch a couple races a year,
Yeah.
the Triple Crown races. But I love the fact after it, like the horse was so excited that it was just like beating, like, it was just like gnawing on that guide horse. Did that guy punch the horse that won the Kentucky Derby? What the hell was that?
I don't know, but that I'm telling you that was so wild, and I don't know after all that race how he had that much left in the tank to run those horses down, man. That was so cool.
It was exhilarating
Yeah.
to watch. And Rich Strike was purchased by Dawson for $30,000 last fall. Just won $1.86 million for winning the Kentucky Derby.
Well, yes, but way more than that. That stud fee from now on is going to be through the roof. That is awesome.
That still, that call, that the surprise, the Rich Strike, like that was, oh my gosh, that was, it made it so much better.
All the other horses, it looked like they were in slow motion, man. That when you're looking at it from the top and he's just weaving through them and gets up there, oh man, it's so cool.
Unbelievable. Awesome. Never, I honestly, full disclosure, I didn't know that horse racing could fire me up that much. I like,
right.
And the OU connection, right? Like you look at the program, it says Sooner Red cap. Like obviously that made me very fired up and kind of mad that I didn't go. I've been before and it made me mad I wasn't there because I definitely would have bet on that horse. Like I wouldn't have had a choice. Right. But
that's awesome.
That was so cool.
And
so cool.
The other part of it is, old Rick also bet on the horse. Like, I don't know how much he bet on it, but he bet on it.
We need to find someone that knows Rick. We need to get him on the pod to talk about winning the Kentucky Derby. If someone can connect us with Rick, just tell him to holler at me. All right, but my winner of the weekend, OU softball, swept Oklahoma State in Bedlam. And I went to game 1 on Thursday, and I went to game 3 on Saturday. I just didn't go to game 2 where they actually won the Big 12 championship when they clinched the series win. But it was, man, that place was packed, and the energy there it's fun. And their 10th Big 12 championship in a row. After they won game 2 of the series where Hope Troutwine, she was awesome in that one. Just truly a decade of dominance for Patty Gasso and Oklahoma softball. And just some of the highlights of being at the games, like watching Jordy Ball pitch in person, it's an experience now. Like watching it on TV is one thing, but just watching her, like, she kind of scares me, man. I don't know how else to put it. Like she's intimidating as hell, and it's fun to watch. Like the intensity,
that's rare for you see that type of kind of attitude and energy in closers that come in at the end of games, but rarely do you see that from a starter that's out on the mound that long. And to be able to play with that type of level for that long and every single pitch to restart the fire, it's cool to watch.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun to watch in person. And she completely shut Oklahoma State down in game 1. But watching Jocelyn Allo hit that grand slam on senior day, and I know that they're about to play more games in the postseason, right? In Norman and in Oklahoma City. I get it, but it's still senior day, right? And to blast a grand slam that ends up winning the game on your senior day, like how cool is that? That's so sweet.
It's so cool that you can be so good that everyone knows what's about to happen, right? We were hanging out in the backyard, had around the pool, had the game on in the back, And then it's like, oh, bases are loaded. Jocelyn Alo's up. Everyone gets out of the pool, crowds around the TV, and sure thing, spank, and everyone just goes crazy. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah. I was losing it. Took the little guy to the game too. Saw his first softball action in person. Seemed to enjoy it. So we got to work on it. The loud cheers struggles a little bit with.
A little resistant to the crowd noise, huh?
I was like, hey man, you're gonna have to get used to it. So now we did the headphones.
Yeah.
And he was fine with that, but then he kept taking them off. So I was like, just deal with it.
No one wants to hear nothing, right? I understand not wanting to hear nothing, but the roar out of nowhere, not knowing what's going on, I get it.
He was a little startled. Right? The Grand Slam. This is good. Grand Slam. Everyone's losing it, and my 10-month-old son is sitting there crying, and I'm like, "Oh, come on, man! Come on, get it together!" Just
awesome.
Crowd going crazy. No, it was yeah. But you look at OU softball finishing the regular season at 48-1. Not too shabby, Patty.
Damn you, Texas.
Damn you, Texas. All right, for my loser of the weekend, thought about going with the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, yikes, got smacked by the Golden State Warriors this weekend, 142-112. And the Warriors did shoot the lights out of the ball, right? They shot 53% from three. No one's beating them when they shoot it that way. But the real concern for the Grizzlies is Ja Morant's knee, right? He looked worried, and I didn't think it was a dirty play or anything by Jordan Poole. It was awkward. Like he just kind of like grabbed his leg and moved it. But there's a lot of other ways. If you're going to try to hurt a guy's knee, like there's a lot of other ways to do it than like grabbing it and moving it, his leg to the other. That whole thing was weird. I didn't think it was, I didn't think he should be arrested like some people think. Now, maybe if I was a Memphis fan, I would think differently. But I just thought they got their ass whooped, and it made it even worse when Ja limped off the court.
Yeah.
So, not great for the Grizz.
No, that's brutal. And he even if Golden State's going to run away with this thing, as they might, they're that good right now, he's still one of the most entertaining guys to watch, and it's worth seeing him in that series, even if they're not going to pull it off, just because of how entertaining he is. So, and you never know, man. Sometimes you can move around on it, and you go back there and the MRI tells you something bad. And I always say this, man, once you get cut on, the body's never the same. So I hope everything's good.
Yeah. I think we all hope, because he is must-see TV for me.
He is a freak.
He is. I mean, oh my gosh. You talk about elite athleticism. That guy, that's what elite athleticism looks like. I also thought about going with the refs in the Celtics Bucks game. I mean, it was pretty obvious that Marcus Smart was trying to shoot a three there, right? Yeah. I mean, Drew Holiday he fouled him. I mean, definitely fouls him. But to call that a rip through, I was like, no, he definitely should be shooting 3 free throws. But he executed missed the second one on purpose flawlessly, and they just couldn't bat the damn ball in the basket. Or at least Horford did it, but the buzzer had sounded.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's a close series. Very close. Closer than I thought it was going to be.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun to watch. But my loser of the weekend, I'm going with McLaren, man. Like I've thought about making McLaren my Formula One team, but just because I love Ricardo, I like Lando Norris, but no points for McLaren at the Miami Grand Prix. None. Now, Lando Norris looked like he was going to make something happen, right? But little contact with old Pierre Gasly on lap 41, and his damn tire just goes rolling down the track, and he's out of the race. I was like, wait, and he just spinning like a helicopter. I was just like, oh my gosh, what just happened there? And then Ricardo finishes just outside the points, P11. So, man, Zach Brown was talking a big game. Hey, we're going to finish in the top 3 this year. What? No, not even close. Ferrari, Red Bull, and even Mercedes with all the porpoising they're doing.
Were they porpoising down in Miami? That's the place to do it.
Yeah, if you're going to porpoise, Miami's the place to porpoise. But there was a lot of buzz coming in to the season about McLaren. It just really not looking as sharp as I wanted it. You want to take a guess who won, Ted?
Verstappen.
He did. Verstappen wins, and Ferrari.
Red Bull, right? Is he Red Bull?
He is. Verstappen is Red Bull, correct. Him and Perez. So those are your two Red Bull guys. Ferrari had the other 2 guys on the podium with Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz.
And did you tell me Verstappen is Honda?
No, Verstappen is Red Bull, and Red Bull's engines last season were made by Honda. I don't know if they still make them. I'd have to give that a Google. I feel like someone commented when we talked about this one time and said that Honda doesn't make their engines anymore. But hey, whoever's making the Red Bull engine right now, Verstappen, he was driving the hell out of that thing. He looked good.
Awesome.
But please tell me you saw the podium.
I did not, but I see what you have here, and I saw a headline about this. It didn't click on it.
So normally when they go on the podium, they've got these hats, right? It's like this hat, like the tire sponsor. And I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but they throw them in football helmets to go up there. They're wearing black football helmets. You know, these little dweeby F1 guys. And no, like they're not football players, but they are like, none of them are like jacked or anything. They're like, some of them are skinny jacked, right? You know, they kind of like a runner, you know, like a runner. So these football helmets, like these are, even though their necks are strong as hell, it's not like they got a Teddy Lehman neck. I mean, Verstappen's got this helmet on and he looks like a little kid. Looks like a damn bobblehead because the helmet's just massive. I was like, what are you doing to these guys? This is not a good look.
That's funny. And they're not nearly as comfortable as those racing helmets they're wearing either.
Oh, no. And speaking of uncomfortable, Martin Brundle, before the race, Teddy, if I don't expect you to watch the highlights of the race, but if you can find one thing on the internet from the Miami Grand Prix, find Martin Brundle just walking around interviewing people before the race. It was incredible content and so very awkward. It was fantastic. And the highlight of it, he seems to have a bit of a grudge with Venus and Serena Williams. I would like to explore that more, right? There was definitely some hostility there, but he thought Paulo Banchero, the player from Duke, the guy, he's going to be like a top 3 draft pick in the NBA. At the very worst, he'll go 3rd. He thought he was Patrick Mahomes, goes up to him. Patrick, starts asking him questions. And mind you, Banchero is like 6'10". And he's like, oh, there's Patrick Mahomes. And it was like watching a car crash in slow motion. And during the middle of it, obviously someone's in his ear telling him, hey man, that's not Patrick Mahomes. He's like, who are you? I'm sorry, I called you Patrick. You're not him. He's like, oh, I'm Paulo. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Incredible. You got to watch it.
Yeah, if you're ever confused, Mahomes is not 6'10", and he will have a small blonde surgically attached to his hip that never gets more than 6 inches away from him at any moment in time.
Hey. They're married, man. I'm not going to insult. Hey, I don't know her at all. Had a couple of interactions. I wouldn't say she was over the top nice or anything like that, but hey, man, if she makes him happy, let my man live.
I agree.
Let him live.
I agree.
But yeah, you got to go watch that. And there was also Brundle like stalked David Beckham. He was not taking no for an answer. It was awesome. I mean, they put him. It was a really hard spot to be in. He's like interviewing some of these people. He like very famous, but he doesn't know who they like. He's a Formula One guy. You know,
He's
like,
no Plank. They should have called in Chris Plank for that.
he
Plank would
did
thrive
know
in that environment.
Plank would crush that, but he did know who DJ Khaled was, and he landed the DJ Khaled interview, and DJ Khaled kind of killed it. It was pretty sweet.
That's cool.